What's up guys? How you doing, Freedom Warriors? All right, my name is Robert and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're gonna cover how much money it costs to start selling on Amazon. Now, if you've been thinking about selling on Amazon and if you've got questions and you think maybe you cannot sell on Amazon because you don't live in the United States or you don't have enough money or for some other reason, maybe you're not technical or anything like that, let me just put those worries to rest right now. You can sell on Amazon no matter where you live. You can live in almost any country in the world and still sell on Amazon in the United States. There are some exclusions, but it's very, very few. So if you're watching this right now, it's highly likely that you can sell on Amazon right now. And so the biggest question that people ask me all the time is, Robert, how much money does it take to start selling on Amazon? Now, it really depends on just how deep you want to go, just how much you want to immerse yourself, how much you want to educate yourself. Now, before we dive into this video, I want to just talk to you guys about selling on Amazon and why this is probably one of the best opportunities ever, because Amazon right now is expanding like crazy. They are growing exponentially. It is retail apocalypse for all of the other retailers out there. Pretty much they're all going out of business left and right, and it's Amazon that is completely dominating the market. So not only has this been a great opportunity, this is a great opportunity right now. So there are over 300 million Prime members who are very, very used to going online and shopping for simple everyday products. It doesn't matter what they are. You're likely shopped on Amazon yourself if you're watching this video right now, and you probably go on there every single time you want to go and buy something, anything, any type of product for your house, any type of product that you can potentially think about. Amazon sells it and it is just such an incredible opportunity. You don't need to pick, pack, ship, deal with customer service, refunds, any of that. Amazon handles everything, which is an absolute wonder. All you have to do is find the products and sell it on Amazon. Now, okay, so let's get into the content, right? So how much money does it take to sell on Amazon? This is the question. So I'm gonna go through the 8 different steps, kind of checklist you have to think about and roughly estimate the cost, kind of give you guys a breakdown of how much you should have set aside if you wanna start on Amazon. Now, I know that there are other people out there who are making YouTube videos who are saying it costs X amount of money to sell on Amazon. It costs this much money, that much money, and it's a wide range. I'm gonna give you real world cost experience, okay? So you know exactly how much it takes to sell on Amazon, no matter who you are, where you live, what you do for a living. Now, if you want to learn more, please make sure that you jump into the student group. You can find a link in the description below. In there, you can get advice from people like you who are selling on Amazon. You can get advice from me. And so let's get into the content now. All right, how much money does it take to sell on Amazon? First thing that you have to think about when you're thinking about selling on Amazon is how much are the products going to cost? Before you go and you set up your Amazon Seller Central account, before you do anything else, this is probably the first question you have in your mind, because it's a good question because it's probably the most expensive cost associated with what you're doing with selling on Amazon. Now, if you can find inexpensive products that you can sell for a lot of money, that is the ticket, right? That is the goal. But before you get there, you have to figure out what you want to sell. All right, so how do you figure out what you want to sell on Amazon, and how do you even get started in the first place? Now, understand that you're gonna have to shell out some money for the cost of a product, but you also have to go and set up your Amazon Seller Central account. Now, if you're serious about selling on Amazon, you gotta set up your Seller Central account. All you gotta do is go to Amazon Seller Central and go through the application process. There are 2 types of accounts. One is a basic account. The basic account, you can only sell up to 40 products. It's $1 per item sold. It's not really for serious people. If you are serious about selling on Amazon, go set up a pro account. To set up the pro account, it is $39.99 a month. Just understand that this is gonna be one of your costs involved with selling on Amazon. That is not the only fee that Amazon takes. Just understand that Amazon has a fulfillment cost that is roughly hovering around 15% of your product. So step 1 is to set up the Amazon Seller Central account. So you're gonna be back about $39.99. So $40, so not too much money if you think about the amount of money you can make on Amazon, but of course that is not your only cost. All right, so the second cost that you're gonna have is gonna be the research tools that you need to use to figure out what can you sell on Amazon that's gonna make you money. So there are two that I really love to use. You probably heard a lot of people talking about a bunch of different tools, but these two are really the best. The primary tool is Jungle Scout. You probably heard about Jungle Scout. Jungle Scout is like one of the best tools that you can use to discover and reverse engineer sales, keyword search volume, even kind of look into your competitors with X-ray vision. Now, in order to really use it, you have to connect it to your Seller Central account, and the pricing is based on how many monthly orders you are completing. So if you are completing tens of thousands of monthly orders, you're probably gonna cost you a lot of money, but until you get to that point, it is a very, very good tool to have. It starts at $89, which is probably the best version. They have a $69, an $89, and a $39. But the $89 version is the Jungle Scout tool and the extension for your browser. So it's really, really useful. You can use it to do all sorts of product research, only up to 500 completed orders per month. So keep that in mind, okay? So, but in the beginning, it is a very good tool. You can go with the lower ended version. And so that is another cost. If you go with the high end version, it's gonna be $89. So if you add the $40 to the $89, you are looking at almost $130 a month. And you haven't even gotten to buying any of the products or doing anything else. Okay, so what are the other costs that you have to kind of keep in mind? Now, there is another tool called Merchant Words. You don't have to actually buy Merchant Words, but Merchant Words is a very, very useful tool. They help you to optimize your listing, and they pretty much do all the work for you. So if you're like, you know, Rob, I hate doing all the technical stuff. I don't want to go through and do optimize a listing, back-end keywords, title, description, all that stuff, bullet points. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you've got some money to shell out, you can definitely use Merchant Words. Now, their tool is gonna vary based on how many listings you optimize, but they do all the kind of SEO related work for you. So if you don't want to do it, you can use Merchant Words, which is a very, very useful tool, and check them out if you want to. It starts at around $300 for one ASIN, and it drops from there. And ASIN is basically Amazon's serial number. And if you have one product, shelling out $300 for somebody who wants to will do all the technical optimization for you might sound good to you, and it might not. So obviously this is optional. You don't have to do it, but you have to understand that, you know, if you really, really want to compete on Amazon, you got to make sure that listing is really, really perfect. Of course, you haven't even gotten to the listing optimization yet. These are just your research tools. Now, after you have this stuff, you have to buy the product, right? So how do you source the product? There is one primary source, and it's called Alibaba.com. There's also 1688. If you speak Mandarin, 1688 is for you. It's like the source of the source. Alibaba is the source. 1688 is the source of the source. I'm gonna guess you don't speak Mandarin, so you don't want to use 1688. So that's cool. You can go on Alibaba.com and you can find the products that are being sold on Amazon. So once you figure out what you want to sell, you got to go on Alibaba and find that. You have to send them a request to basically give you information on how much it's going to cost. So this request has to be a professional request. So you need to send them basically a request for this product that you want to buy for 500 units and for 5,000 units. And then once you get a response back, you're going to want to make sure that you go with at least requests from 3 different suppliers, because you want to make sure you get the best price for what you're trying to sell on Amazon. Now, let's just say this product costs $3 a unit, right? If you're gonna get only 500 units, that's $1,500. Now, maybe you'll get something for far cheaper, maybe, but it's likely that you won't. You're gonna be paying somewhere in the range of $2 to $3. I'm gonna say $3, it could be far more, right? I mean, you could end up scoring and finding a product for 20 cents a unit, but that's likely not going to happen for anything that you can sell for a good margin, right? So your profit margin is obviously your cost of goods minus whatever it costs to sell it versus how much you actually sold it for. All right, so once you get those products, right, 500 units is a very, very conservative amount. If you are serious about competing on Amazon, even if this is your first time, you gotta go for a large quantity order. But I'm just gonna pretend like we're only doing 500 units. That's gonna be about $1,500. If we add it to the $130 that we've already talked about, that's $1,630 in cost so far. We haven't really gotten to the point where we're actually selling on Amazon. All right, so the next thing that you need to do is once you figure out the product, you need to go and you need to get GS1 barcodes, right? GS1 barcodes are basically Amazon compliant barcodes. If you're gonna get 1 to 10 barcodes, it's gonna cost an initial fee of $250 plus an annual renewal of $50, right? So these have to be annually renewed. Understand this is gonna be another one of your costs. So let's just say it's $250. If we add it to the $1,630, that's $1,880 so far. Now, if you have variations of your product, if you have a t-shirt with 4 different sizes, you need 4 GS1 barcodes. So that does get expensive. So let's just say you have one product, one variation, $1,880, we're 500 quantities ordered, and we haven't actually gotten all the way through yet. So keep it in mind, okay, that there are a lot of different steps here. It is not rocket science. And once you do start selling on Amazon, you could likely get a huge return on your investment, but nothing is guaranteed. But if you follow simple steps and you don't give up, you can certainly get there. So we have gotten our barcodes. Now we have to private label our product. Basically means we have to slap our logo on it. We have to slap our customized design on the packaging, all that stuff. We got to print the barcodes on it, everything like that. So to start, you got to find a graphic designer who's going to go and design your logo and the branding and all that other stuff. And then you can put all of that together with your product so that you can actually sell it. But before you get there, so you got to find the graphic designer. You could go on Fiverr, you could go on 99 Designs, you can go on Freelancer, you can go on a lot of different websites to find a graphic designer or find somebody locally. Expect to pay $300 to $500. Let's say on the high end, if you're spending $500, that puts you at $2,380 so far spent, and we haven't gotten all the way through. So that is your private labeling step. That was step 5. Once you have all that stuff done, you're gonna get the sample of the product back, and the manufacturer, of course, is gonna have to print this stuff for you. So they have to have the capability to do that. So make sure you find the right supplier, the right manufacturer. Again, this boils down to sending them requests the right way so you know beforehand everything that you need to know. So once you kind of have everything set up, everything kind of completed, and you get your sample in the mail, because you're gonna have to request a sample. You do not want to sell anything without a sample. You want to see the quality of the product. You want to see like how good it is before you even start trying to sell it at all, right? Get your sample in. You're gonna have to do some product photography. Again, you're gonna spend a little bit of money for product photography. So expect to pay around $500 for product photography. Now, I know that sounds expensive, but people care a lot about the photos. So photos of the product from every different angle, photos that include some lifestyle images of people using the product in real life. These are all very important. So another $500, we're looking at $2,880 so far. And we haven't actually started to sell any of the products yet. So yes, the cost can kind of escalate, but I'm giving you the best case scenario of what you can expect to pay. Don't expect to pay. I've seen videos that you can sell on Amazon for $1,000. It is not very realistic. You have to get really realistic about this and understand there are some initial costs, but once you start reordering and replenishing inventory, then it is not so bad, right? And you'll kind of get the whole template in place. You'll kind of understand exactly how this is done, and you won't be so frightened and fearful of stepping into it. So $2,880, we haven't actually shipped the product to an Amazon fulfillment center, okay? To ship the product, we need a freight forwarder. In the beginning, you should definitely use a freight forwarder. Make sure that they are inspecting the products when it's done, first of all, on the manufacturer side. Then you need a freight forwarder. If you're paying $3 per product for manufacturing, then you're probably going to expect to pay around $1 for the freight forwarding, maybe a little bit more, but I'm just going to estimate $1. That's an extra $500. That's $3,380 so far. You got to make sure that when they arrive, they're inspected, okay? And you haven't even started to do marketing, reviews, and anything like that. So understand you're going to have to give coupons away. You're going to spend money in order to get reviews. You're going to have to go out there and do whatever it takes to get people to review your product. Those initial 10 to 25 reviews are highly important, and you shouldn't be running any type of marketing until you hit around 10 reviews, because people just don't take the product seriously that have virtually no reviews. So reviews are the biggest challenge, and also getting your product out there and actually doing what's called PPC campaigns. These are pay-per-click campaigns. There are a couple of different kinds of PPC campaigns on Amazon. They range from the automatic to manual, and also campaigns where you can piggyback and market your product on your competitors' products, which is really, really cool. You should set aside a healthy budget every single day of roughly $20 to $30 on marketing your product, right? On pay-per-click advertisement. $20 to $30. If we're at the high end, $30, that's $900, right? So we are getting up into the $4,000 range now. So if it was $3,380 and we're spending $900 on PPC campaigns, then we are in the $4,280 range. So we should say that in order to launch a product on Amazon, it's gonna cost in the range of $3,000 to $5,000, likely closer to $5,000. There are other costs that you might not think about now that might come up. Things might go wrong. The product might come in, messed up. There might be issues with the actual safety of the product. There might be issues with the actual quality of the product. Like, you don't know until it comes. So just understand that you need to put a investment aside. But this investment, if you say buy the product and you have 500 units, and even if you have spent $5,000, and in the very, very initial period, right, and you have basically a $10 per unit cost, Amazon is also going to take a 15% cut when each of those products is sold. So don't forget about that. So if you are selling the product for $20, that gives you a $10 margin, and then Amazon could take their cut of 15%. You can expect to make some money back, but don't expect to get rich overnight when you do this. But put aside $3,000 to $5,000. It doesn't all have to be at one time. You could be going through this process, setting things up, and then, if you're working a day job and every 2 weeks you're getting more disposable income, you can put more income towards this. But it is so much better than going out there and having to work a 9 to 5 and having to have a boss and having to go into an office every day that you're just not happy with, right? So I invite you to start an Amazon business, an Amazon FBA business where it's fulfilled by Amazon. It is one of the best businesses, one of the best opportunities that there are right now. And I would love to get your feedback and comments on this video. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bells so you get notified every single time I post a video. And I'll see you guys next time.